We go, since I've been here for 5 years, when we start fast. All right? And that's both sides of the ball. Start fast, okay? Play with energy. Stay positive on the sidelines. You know, arena football, ups and downs, okay? Make sure there's more ups than there is downs. Play together, play for each other. Let's go get this done.
I want to see everybody fired up, motivated all game long, eyes on the product, eyes on each other, elbow to elbow, enjoying the sacrifice, enjoying the suffering, and then getting after their ass every play.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Let's make sure we bring it. Every play, everybody in this room brings it. Be about each other. Let's go get it done.
A great look at the city of Philadelphia on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. But we are going inside the Wells Fargo Center for the AFL on ESPN. The Portland Steel in town to take on the Philadelphia Soul. Good afternoon to everyone. R. Wolf alongside the Hall of Famer, Sid Bonner. So glad you've joined us. And Sid, you know the quarterback play is the most important thing in the AFL. For Philadelphia, they have the reigning league MVP in Dan Rodabaugh, but 5 interceptions in 2 games. What's going on with the Philly offense?
Just a little thing called pressing. You're pressing to prove that you're worthy of the award you received last year. And this guy has all the ability, has all the tools. He just needs to go out and do what he does. Be consistent, be on time. We haven't seen those things. He's been a little bit late, indecisive with throws. It's gotten him in trouble. If he goes back out, settles down, plays Dan Rodabaugh football, this team will have a ton of success.
And this team's always better when it gets ahead. They need a good start. Now let's focus on Portland. Their quarterback, Danny Southwick, and their team, they got blown out in week 1. But don't read too much into that because the Arizona Rattlers are really good. Week 2 at Orlando, they went with a ball-controlled offense, and yes, I use that term, and they almost got the victory in Orlando.
They really did. First 2 drives, 9 plays. Second drive, 13 plays. This team slowed the game way down, did a nice job with the 3-step drop, getting the ball out of Southwick's hands, so he didn't have to take the beating he took against the Arizona Rattlers. He played extremely well, one mistake in the game, but he left them a chance by competing and doing all the right things on the field. Nice touch on the ball. This guy can get it done if given the opportunity.
There is the head coach for the Portland Steel, Ron James. He is a veteran head coach in the AFL, had terrific success in Utah and in Pittsburgh. And Clint Dolezel, 4th season as the head coach in Philadelphia. He won an Arena Bowl as a player with Grand Rapids back in 2001. And he is a member of the Arena Football League Hall of Fame. Arena football rules, running clock until the final minute of each half. See the dimensions of the field, no punting allowed, no outside stunting or twisting. Ball off the rebound net is live, and 1 receiver may be in forward motion prior to the snap. Portland won the toss, they defer, so they will kick off, and the Soul will start out with the football. Chris Duvault is back deep for the Soul. Duvault, a 5th-year man who played at Illinois. And this Philadelphia team, you can tell, anxious to play because of the loss on Monday night against the Jacksonville Sharks. They want to get back out there, reestablish their confidence. Last year, the Soul went 15-3.
This team doesn't lose in this building very often, Ari.
A knuckleball kick to start the game, and it's going to be a touchback. So we get our first look at Dan Rodabaugh, now in his 7th season, played his college ball at Miami of Ohio. Coming off a season a year ago where he was just brilliant. 119 touchdown passes and only 12 interceptions. He has a career quarterback rating of 120, but so far this season at 108. There is a flag on the play. They were a little anxious, the Portland Steel, on the kickoff, so that'll slightly improve the Soul's field position. And Clint Dolezel wants to make sure the ball is put on the proper place on the field, and we're set to go. These two have been attached at the hip for a long time. When Clint Dolezel was in Dallas coaching, he had Dan with him. Clint Dolezel comes to Philadelphia, Dan comes with him. And they have a fun relationship. It does make for good TV watching those two together.
It makes for great TV, and Dan understands what he goes in with. With Clint, Clint gets after him tough, but he takes it like a champ and continues to compete for him.
It is a tough love relationship. 1st and 10. Rodabon going up over the top. Can SK get to it? No. Sean Kalinamoku, the intended receiver. Often referred to as SK.
It's a corner route. You see the switch coverage? Ball just thrown too far inside, just inches, and it just shows you when you get off just a little bit. That's a throw he normally hits. That's just inches on the corner route. You got to find a way as a receiver to try and head whip, help your guy out, especially if you feel like he's struggling a little bit, which Dan is.
Touch pass over the Jack linebacker. Ryan McDaniel makes the catch. McDaniel, fourth-year guy out of Samford. And let's take a look at today's impact players.
Great segue into our guy, Ryan McDaniel. 14 receptions, 188 yards, and a TD. This is a guy that has big play capability as well. Hasn't been able to get down the field as much, but look for him to have a big day. Dexter Davis, tell you what, folks, for 6'2", 230-pound defensive end, number 11 will play with leverage and power and watch the speed around the edge.
They keep it on the ground. Jeremy Richardson with the carry, and he's been a pleasant surprise for this team, Sid. Richardson leading the AFL in rushing through the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, 7.7 average. I mean, that's incredible numbers at the fullback spot. Losing Tommy Taggart, you thought maybe they'd fall off, but this team continues to find a way to plug guys and continue to get something out of that fullback spot.
When you think about Derek Ross and Tommy Taggart, now Jeremy Richardson, under this coaching regime, fullbacks have had a lot of success in Philadelphia. Rodabon, quick hitter. And it's Harvey Binford, a player they're very high on, just a second-year guy out of Lindenwood College, just 25 years of age. And 6 feet, 185 pounds. They think that he's got a chance to get to the next level, be an impact receiver.
He's got good speed and wow factor. When he runs routes, when he catches balls, you see there, he catches a little hitch. Ball thrown on his outside shoulder. You got to trust your quarterback and turn outside. The more he plays, the more he'll start to feel those things. But he's able to pick up the first down on a nice hands catch.
This Portland defense has done well against the pass. Best in the league, allowing just 183 passing yards per game. Rodabon. And miscommunication there. His receiver was nowhere close to the football. What happened there, Sid?
Supposed to have somebody up the chute. You had a wheel with a skinny post. The receiver didn't read it right. I believe it was Benford. And everybody looks at the quarterback. Where are you throwing the ball? Because he just threw it to a spot where he was expecting his guy to be. And down here, you can't hold on to the ball, take chances. You got to get it out of your hand and play within your rhythm.
Second and 10, McDaniel in motion. And Rodabon almost picked off because that pass was a few feet behind Ryan McDaniel. You played this position, you played it through good times, occasional rough times. It's all between the ears right now for Dan Rodabon.
It really is, and he gets the jack. Bryce Pila gets in his vision with the high leap you see there. And he doesn't let McDaniel clear. All he's got to do is let him clear. You got a big body, 6'3", coming to the wall. The jack's going away. Allow him to clear and throw the ball over to the wall.
There you see the interception issues for Dan Rodabon. I mean, last year took such good care of the football. Ended up first team All-Arena, Offensive Player of the Year, and AFL MVP. And hold everything. And we've got delay of game, so this Philadelphia offense out of sync on their opening drive.
Extremely out of sync. And when you're struggling, this is not what you want to happen. A delay of game. What Dan needs is probably to, if it's me, I'm going to take the ball on a first down, take off and run. Let me get popped once really good. Try and get my head back in the game. He's just struggling right now. He's thinking too much. He's got new receivers to his defense. He's got receivers that he hadn't played with. He's just got to play football, take what they give him.
Rodabon the throw, and it's dropped. And that's Binford, and he was close to a first down. And, you know, it's cumulative. I mean, the receivers have to pick up their quarterback when he lacks confidence, and here Binford had a chance to make a play.
He really did. I thought SK did as well on the curl route, or the corner route, but you see there, easy PC route. He's wide open, he pushes the DB off, but lets the ball get into his body, reach those hands out, and make the play.
Rodabaugh 2 for 6, 21 yards. He has 3 straight incompletions. 4th down. On the season, they're 3 for 6 on 4th down. Rodabaugh got a man, caught, touchdown. Ryan McDaniel.
Good touch pass. Really good job of putting it up with some air. He reads the coverage and sees he has it on the backside. They ran a backside cloud there. He gets the receiver to the corner. Serge Gilliam doesn't get back in time. That's a really nice job by Dan to be patient, because I thought on the front side he had a chance to get the ball to SK.
Tommy Freevert on for the extra point attempt. It is up and it is good. Dan Rodabaugh on a drive that at times looked uneven. Comes to a 4th down play. Shows patience here. Finds Ryan McDaniel, 21-yard touchdown pass. McDaniel's 2nd touchdown of the season. Welcome back, AFL on ESPN on a Sunday afternoon. Philadelphia leads Portland 7-0. Soul getting set to kick it off. Portland looking for their first win of the season. They're 0-2. The Soul trying to bounce back from a loss on Monday night to the Jacksonville Sharks, who beat them in the American Conference Championship game a season ago, so you know that stings. And Dan Rodabaugh, first drive didn't look particularly good, but when it counted, they came up with a play.
He did come up with, and that's the one thing you like about Dan. He's resilient. He'll take you. He's getting a beating over there right now. Verbal beating.
Yes.
However, this kid will bounce back. He always does. Does a really nice job.
Tommy Freevert getting set to kick it off. Portland has really struggled in the return game. They're only averaging 2.3 yards per kick return. Give you some perspective, that's 10 fewer yards average than by any of the other teams in the AFL.
They should have a good one here. That's short.
Terrence Mitchell. And Mitchell's got some room to the outside. And that's an excellent return for Portland, as it'll give Danny Southwick and the offense plenty of room to work with from their own 13-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, it looks like they're trying to run big field returns, setting up walls on the sidelines. Tough to get those guys that way when they're having to play both ways, but good return there, great field position.
And here is Danny Southwick, 6th season. They put him as that he graduated from Occidental, but important to note, he did attend 5 colleges. He's always been searching for that one place where he can be the guy. And he may have found that spot here in Portland. First throw of the game, it's going to be short. It's 4 yards, and that's really their plan as Tom Gilson makes the catch. They want to take time off the clock. They want to shorten the game. And last week, it was really effective.
It really was, and what it does is it allows your offense to grow together. You come out, you throw all these pieces from different places together and expect them without preseason to play well together. They can't do it. They need this kind of time. The timing things, 3-step and short, quick game helps.
Flag before the play. Mets did get a free shot on Danny Southwick.
Still 2nd down.
You want to talk about a guy that's coming along very fast. Jake Metz. He's understanding the game. You look at him and Teddy Jennings on the edge, the bookends for the Soul. And I'll tell you what, man, you won't find a better pair of looking bookends. 6'6", 280, 290 range, good get off, good strength.
It's really important that they protect Danny Southwick. He's already been sacked 7 times this season. That is last in the AFL. We'll tell you this, he's a tough customer though. He will stand in the pocket. Southwick, and as he got hit, that ball didn't come out right. Could have been a chance for an interception.
They keep, listen, they ran a gin here, which is go on the outside and a dig route in the middle of the field, and he's looking to a spot and trying to throw it. But this backside corner is just sitting around waiting on him to make that mistake. You've got to throw the ball over the top of that guy's head to force him to run with your receiver. And your receivers has got to run like the Dickens to get out of there.
3rd down. The Steelers 7 for 20 on 3rd downs this season. Southwick with time, and he misses an open receiver. Gilson would have had the 1st down and more. Let's take a look at the impact players on this side of the ball.
And again, another great segue by my man, Ari Wolf. Tom Gilson out of UMass, 19 receptions, 211 yards. He's a possession guy. He's going to go make the tough catch. And I tell you what, on the defensive side, Dwayne Hollis, 5'10", only 185 pounds, but this guy is physical. He has great footwork and does a nice job in the secondary calling the plays for the Soul.
See if they go to Gilson here on 4th down. Southwick with time, looking downfield for Jared Perry, but knocked away. Great defense from the Soul, and on cue, Dwayne Hollis makes the play.
This is a good job of getting back, not allowing the drop. He's right up on the hip of Jared Perry, but shows you his speed. Ball underthrown and back inside, and he almost picked it off. Has 2 interceptions on the year. Well, this is a great play. Cuts him off. Beautiful job by Hollis. 4th down. Give me that ball.
Thursday, April 28th at 8 Eastern on ESPN. It's the first round of the NFL Draft live from Chicago's Auditorium Theater. Chris Berman anchors our coverage for the 36th year, along with a cast of thousands. This show is also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Lots of lives are going to change. Coming up, what is it, 11 days till the draft? A lot of nervous nights, wondering where players are going to end up. And there is Dan Rodabaugh. Spent some time in an NFL camp before making a career in the Arena Football League. Had a very successful college career at Miami of Ohio. Remains 5th all-time in Redhawks history in passing yards. And he's had great success in this game. What's really only missing from his resume is an Arena Bowl title.
That's missing from a lot of guys' resume. However, I think in the era of championships and things like that, you're defined by that.
They toss it, and Richardson gets to the 10-yard line, a pickup of 3. It's interesting, we came in here thinking that time of possession, ball control was going to be the Portland strategy. At least here in the first quarter, it's Philadelphia who's had the ball most of the time and using more of a ball-controlled offense.
I don't think they're having a choice right now. I think Portland's forcing them into running more plays because they feel if they could force them to run more plays, there's a chance for a mistake. And that's when you can steal a possession. When you just play good defense, don't give up a big one. Don't give up the home run. Like on the first play, they tried to go deep. They shut it down. Don't give up the big play. Force an offense to sit out there and work and be patient.
Duval in motion in the slot. Rodabaugh looking for Duval. Perfect throw and the catch. Touchdown, Soul.
This is vintage Dan Rodabaugh. You see the sail route? He knows he has man up. He could just lay the ball out early. You want to talk about putting it in a window. That's dropping a dime right there. Real quick throw out of his hand. And Duval, tough catch. McMillan hanging on for dear life, and he drops it in the bucket.
You put that bucket out there, that one's falling right in the middle. That is a terrific throw from Dan Rodabaugh, and hopefully for the Soul, that gets his confidence back up. There you see the big smile on the redhead's face. The Soul lead 14-0. He could be doing a quarterback camp right there. Say, hey guys, that's the way you get it done, and then go celebrate with your guys. Dan Rodabaugh moments ago, absolutely perfect throw into the end zone for the Soul touchdown. We bring in Dan Rodabaugh, the reigning AFL MVP. No, it's not that guy, the Soul man. Well, maybe you're doing double duty, Dan. But Dan, talk about this offense and getting it back up to the pace you guys set last year. What are the key things for this offense to get cranked up?
Well, you know, in this game, anything can really happen, but we'd like to get off on the right foot every game and start early and score off. And, you know, we stumbled out the gate last week and put ourselves in a bad situation. I take all responsibility for that, but we just want to come out and get 6 every time we touch it.
Big D, it's Seth Bonner. Tell me about that corner route right there. What made you know you had it immediately?
Field corner pressed in. I like the leverage from the safety pre-snap. And then our guy, our wing, DeVault, did a great job hitting it with speed. Just got to get it in the right spot, and he made a great play.
Well done, Dan. We will hopefully talk to you again later in the game. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, guys.
Penalty flag on the return, and special teams have been an ongoing issue for Portland.
During the return, holding 1. And the return team, it's half the distance to the goal, first down.
Zambrano. So now Danny Southwick and the Steel be backed up a little deeper in their own territory. Now, they got away from the game plan that worked against Orlando with the short passing game. You expect them to return to that this series?
Well, you can try all you want, but Philadelphia knows they're using that game plan as well. Philly's going to be a little bit tighter in coverage to make those short throws harder as well, as maybe not try to push the pocket so much, but get your hands up front.
Southwick, that ball is just hung up there, and flags are everywhere. I think the Philadelphia defensive back there thought the ball must have been tipped, and he grabbed the receiver.
It did come out funny, and it's because he's taking shots. And the one thing you don't want to do is hold on to the ball too long. This team struggled a week ago to get a pass rush, talking about the soul as we get the call.
Illegal twist, 99. That foul is declined. Pass interference. Defense. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So hopefully we'll see on the replay. I think Dwayne Hollis assumed this ball had to be tipped based on the trajectory of the football.
Well, I think he just decided he wasn't giving up a touchdown. He didn't know where it was. As you get a look right there, that's not a twist. It looks like it is, but it's not a twist. But right there, he grabs him, doesn't want to give up the touchdown. He doesn't know where the ball is. And I'm okay with that. If I'm a coach, I'm okay with that. Don't give up a freebie.
Southwick dumps it off. Perfect play call. And the big tight end, Moreland, makes the catch, and he picks up 9 yards.
This is a great play call. You're going to get the fullback out in this flat, and the tight end's going to set and release here on the right side. Great call. Look at the pass, set, and go. Great job of hanging on by Moreland just to take his time and be patient. That was a really good job.
Really sold it. Second and short. Southwick. Catch is made. Jared Perry, former AFL Rookie of the Year. Fifth-year guy, played his college ball at Missouri. He picks up 9 yards on the play.
He got a good heavy dose of Joe Gooseby right here. Watch the Jack linebacker sprint out there into the play right there. This is a great hit. Listen to this. Joe.
It's a little safer up here in the booth,
It's
huh?
way safer up here. You don't have to hurt it all the next morning.
Southwick, nice pocket. He's going to take off and then deliver. Gilson, touchdown steal. They're going to have to take a closer look to see if he was beyond the line of scrimmage. There was no flag on the play.
I'm not sure if he was beyond,
And
however.
now, here comes the flag. It appeared, I thought he was taking off to run.
I did too. It looked like he tried to jump.
Yeah, it's going to be an illegal forward pass.
Passer was beyond the line of scrimmage. It's a 5-yard penalty. Lost it down. Third down.
Here's my one problem with this. It's first down. Go ahead and run. The Jack is out of the play. Run the football.
Correction, that's second
It's
down.
close. He's right on the line, and he kind of comes off his foot.
Keep in mind, they don't
Right-
have a second look at it right
there.
now. It's much closer.
That's closer than people think. If I'm Ron James, maybe I'd take a look at it, because that's a touchdown. Points off the board, but watch his right foot. Right there, he comes off the ground. He's off the ground.
Set of a touchdown, 2nd and 15. Southwick, again, it's the tight end, and it's Moreland, and he can't hold on.
They call it a down
Kennedy
ball. They call it
down, and then a fumble, and then recovered by Portland.
No foul on the play. No foul.
Been quite an adventure these last 2 plays. Let's see what happened here.
Again, good use of double release. You slow those bookends down. You don't allow those guys to get upfield, and you force them to play your tight end. But right there, I'm not so sure he even had possession of that ball.
He didn't make a football move with it before it came out. 3rd down. Southwick, catch is made as Gilson's in the front row. But it's going to bring up 4th and 2.
Can't be afraid to throw that ball into tight coverage. That's a good job. Good throw and catch. From Southwick to Gilson.
Danny Southwick's got to feel like he's never really under pressure. I mean, he's the son-in-law of one of the great television commentators of all time, Larry King. I mean, if you're sitting at dinner with Mr. King, that's pressure. This isn't pressure. 4th down. Southwick's got Perry, touchdown steal. So on 4th down, Danny Southwick gets Portland on the board.
There's just too much. There's just too much room for this to happen. You come trips, you press out 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, and you press the motion guys. Well, that's too easy. You got to get a better jam on them.
If you're at the end of the quarter, the try will still be held at this end.
Quarter is complete, but they will. Ernesto Lacayo will come on for the extra point attempt. 9 of 10 on the season, and hold everything. Got flags before the play.
64 on the kicking team. 5 yards, retry.
And keep in mind, these goalposts are just 9 feet wide. That is half the width of NFL goalposts. So backing it up even 5 yards makes it significantly more challenging. There you get a perfect look at it. Lacayo, and it's blocked.
Once it goes past the line of scrimmage, it's dead. If it goes the other way, you can return it. That's a great job, Ted Jennings.
Quarter.
Philadelphia Soul special teams able to block the extra point attempt.
Watch Ted Jennings come blow right through. That's just not a good effort by Jaren Moreland.
And he had been guilty of the false start. Probably wanted to stay down in his stance. It affects him, in Philadelphia takes advantage. 1 quarter complete in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center. Jared Perry with the score. Soul on top, 14-6. Soul lead the steal, 14-6. AFL on ESPN. Orwell alongside Sid Bonner. And now we bring in Portland quarterback Danny Southwick. And Danny, that last drive, you go 5 for 5. It seemed like that's the game plan that was effective in Orlando. How did you feel about the last drive?
Thought it was good. We were able to slow down the pass rush a little bit with that screen and able to get a couple quick hitters and then convert on 4th down.
Danny, how important is it for you to get your big guys, especially when you're running the quick game, the 3-step, to make sure they get hands down? I'm seeing a lot of spying up front. How important is it for those guys to get hands down so we don't get balls tipped?
Extremely important. I mean, we got to be able to attack the defensive line so that I have clear throwing lanes. If not, it's going to be a long day. We want to stay in short yardage situations. We don't want to be in, 3rd and 10, 4th and 10. That's how drives end. So,
Danny, appreciate the time.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks. Duval plays it cleanly off the net. And Duval, good extra effort, gets it out to the 12-yard line. And as we look, said, at the Portland scoring drive, 5 plays, 47 yards, almost 4 minutes off the clock. Southwick 5 for 5. I mean, that's textbook for their game plan.
And at times, did it look pretty?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
But in the end, they got what they want. They got a touchdown. They took a ton of time off the clock. In Arena World, they took a lot of time off the clock, forced those defensive players from the Soul to play sideline to sideline. That's a great drive for the steal.
Rodabaugh's last 2 pass attempts have resulted in touchdowns. Fake the screen. It's McDaniel. McDaniel can't run away from the defender, but a big play for the Soul. Has everybody bid on the fake from Dan Rodabon?
That's a nice dig throw. Scary throw, though. You know you've got guys on the other side of the field hanging out in this area, and that's just a veteran throw. He's smart, he's aware. Brings McDaniel back downhill. Pump fakes, but watch him bring him back downhill. Away from the defender so he can't get a hat on him.
McDaniel coming off a breakout season, 114 catches for almost 1,300 yards and 29 touchdowns. They set up the screen. It's Richardson
Great
making
feet.
guys miss.
Great
and
feet.
Richardson down at the 3. Boy, that fullback at 270 pounds.
I tell you what, when I see this guy, I think of a winner. He's a winner. They're going to slide protect. He's coming to the edge. He seals it and then peels out. This is a great looking play. You see him chip and gets upfield. But watch the footwork. Puts on the brakes. I mean, that's great feet. 270 pounds. This guy was known as a defensive juggernaut in this league. And now he just has made the seamless transition to fullback.
Fifth-year player, played his college ball at Angelo State. They give it to Richardson. He's in for 6 as he crosses the Geico touchdown line. Touchdown, and the lead is 20-6.
They go heavier jumbo package here. And watch what Jake Metz does to Mike McMillan on the edge. Watch number 8 in motion right here. Watch what he does to the defensive back as he comes upfield. I'm just going to roll you over anyway. You try to chop me, you try to get my legs, I'm going to clear that lane. That's a good finish and a walk-in touchdown. This team just continues to find ways to run the football effectively year in and year out.
Freebert on for the extra point attempt. It is up and it is good. A little more than 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. The Philadelphia lead is 21-6. Philadelphia saw offense start to click on their last couple of drives. For the latest news, scores, and stats, log on to arenafootball.com. You can check out special features on the league's brightest stars or watch live games via the ESPN3 video player. It's all at arenafootball.com. Good looking shot of Philadelphia. And now let's take a look at how Dan Rodabon's done in the first half.
He's taking some shots, but he's hung in the pocket, struggled on that initial drive, but once this guy gets it going, he gets real hot. Puts balls in the right spot, keeps his receivers out of harm's way. He does a nice job, and when he's feeling comfortable, I can tell you this, there's not a more accurate guy out there. This guy, when he's comfortable.
And the gentleman he was standing next to right there, Phil Bogle, Clint Dozell, went out of his way to talk about the reason why Dan doesn't take a lot of sacks is every year Phil Bogle coaches new guys, and every year that offensive line protects Dan Rodabon.
Including guys that haven't played fullback position like Jeremy Richardson. Teach those guys a good technique. He's done an outstanding job. Talking about Phil Bogle.
Mitchell on the return, and he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line, so a good return from Terrence Mitchell. And we'll see if Danny Southwick and this Portland Steel offense can replicate what they did their last series, where they took almost 4 minutes off the clock. He was a perfect 5 for 5 throwing the football, and they got the touchdown.
Just got to continue to be patient. Don't get greedy. Don't get caught trying to do something you shouldn't do. Continue to run the offense.
77 eligible, 77.
Southwick to throw. It is complete. It is Gilson. Now, the term journeyman quarterback is thrown around a lot, but this guy has earned that title.
He really has. I mean, he's been all over the place. And I tell you what, he's such a likable guy, too.
Yep.
That's the thing. He's a really likable guy. You want to root for a guy like this to have an impact somewhere and to find a home, but it just tells you how much he loves the game. Loves the game.
And if you include the 5 colleges, 13 stops on his quarterback odyssey. And he gets hit, and that ball comes out. Now, the arm looked like it was coming forward. The ball's still loose, and the sole would cover. But they're going to have to take another look at it. It sure looked like as he was hit, the ball was coming forward.
It did, and I'm still trying to figure out how different Gallington didn't fall on that ball. He was right there, but...
I mean, Danny had no chance here, but watch his arm.
No, that's a fumble.
Okay,
it's still
bring it forward.
It's still in his hand, cupped in right there. It's still because you see him try to retract it. Right there, he's getting hit. It's not up and out yet.
So Ron James does not use the challenge flag. Now he does. He wants to take another look.
I don't see him changing this, but
I mean, you're down 2 scores on the road.
Challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass. Oh, excuse me, fumble. He says it's an incomplete pass.
Time for the call to the booth, the most transparent replay in all professional sports. You will hear the conversation as they take a look at the penalty, and they'll be talking to our television trucks. You'll be a part of the whole thing as Joe Pester talks to our outstanding ESPN crew in the truck.
Ball's loose as the hand is coming forward. So when that hand's coming forward, it's not coming forward with a ball in control. Therefore, the call on the field is going to be confirmed. Thank you.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. It is a fumble. The quarterback's hand was coming forward with a loose ball, no control. First down.
Philadelphia now with 2 stops on 3 Portland possessions.
Tell you what, talking with Coach James, and one of the issues with Danny is he's got to get separation really quick. He had no shot there. Big Kevin Myers playing the fullback spot. That's a lot of open area to cover a guy with good hips and good foot movement, but he's got to do a better job of taking care of his quarterback.
1st and 10, Rodabon. McDaniel, he'll take it for 6. Touchdown Soul. 18 yards.
We play a lot of man-to-man coverage. You can get some shots like this. You can get some shots like this. They're going to send him in back motion here. He's just going to run the skinny post from the backside. You see the eyeballs on the front side. Nobody's going. Jack's out of the picture. Look at the timing on that. Serge Gillum too deep. Not closing enough on that. That ball's out on time. You can't do much about that.
Freebert's extra point is up and good. And the Soul offense, after a sluggish first drive, had been really sharp in the first half. McDaniel already 4 catches, 72 yards and 2 touchdowns, and his quarterback's real happy about it. West Coast rivals square off tonight on ESPN at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Taco Bell, when Buster Posey and the Giants take on Adrian Gonzalez and the Dodgers. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. This is a worst-case scenario, Sid, for a Portland team that does not have a quick strike offense. If you're the Steel down 3 scores, how does this change their game plan the rest of the way?
Well, I still think you try and stay with it because there's plenty of time, and funny stuff happens in this game. Just when you think things are going right for you, just like last week, 28-27 at the half. Jacksonville runs away with the game in the second half. So funny things happen. You just got to continue to play and maybe get one of those defensive backs trying to make too big a play for Philly and catch them and get a big play out of that.
Ball through the slack part of the net, so it'll be a touchback. No chance for Mitchell. So Danny Southwick back on the field.
5-yard line, first down.
Southwick 7 for 10, 58 yards and a touchdown.
He's got to work really hard on getting away from center and help protect himself. You can get back. The faster you can get back, the faster you can see what's going on and do something with the ball, whether it's throwing it away or completing a pass. And sometimes the best plays are throwaways.
And how about just the simple one-step drop wide receiver screen, and let's see if Jared Perry or somebody can make a guy miss.
That's a great idea.
And they tried to set something up there. And big trouble there for Southwick as he takes a big hit.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass. 12 was in the area. Second down. Second down.
On cue, he has been erratic because of pressure. Right there, that's a play that they probably should have reviewed. He was extremely close, took away a touchdown, but he's been under duress, much like that first game. If you're not clicking on your quick game, man, it makes it hard for your offensive line to protect. You see there, they come out and try to throw the quick screen. The inside receiver was too far away. Great job by the field corner, Belton, to close that down.
Southwick this time has a decent pocket. He throws it behind Gilson. Gilson and Southwick played together for the LA Kiss. And they had great connection in week 1. While they got beat handily by Arizona, Gilson 12 catches and 128 yards week 1.
You know, he's another guy that you root for that just continues to get better every year. Couldn't get on the field in LA, but he's a guy that's found a home. Coach James couldn't be more happy with him. He's continuing to progress and get better as a player.
Third down. Southwick to throw. That might have been caught. Actually, the sticks got in the way there. They've got the first down marker was right at the 15, and it was like an extra defender.
Danny's got to move his feet and get back. The ball's thrown a little bit too far behind. You see how far back it is. Gilson can't get back down the stem. You got to throw that ball a little earlier and get it out of your hand.
Portland's offense really struggling. Only averaging 3.4 yards per play. You compare that to Philadelphia at 8.1. Here we go, 4th and long. There are no field goal attempts from this distance. It's too hard, and there's no punting. Flag is down. Southwick steps up, wide open receiver. It's Jared Perry. And Perry sets up 1st and goal, but we'll have to wait on the flag.
I think there's going to be illegal formation.
It appears it's going to go against Portland.
Illegal formation.
Would have been a 42-yard play.
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 5 was on the line, covering up the tight end. Half the distance, replay, 4th down.
They went formation into the sideline. So this is your tight end here. He's raised his hand. This man has to be a yard off the football, not on the ball. They cover him up, as you can see right there, and that's where the penalty comes in. Motion man doesn't matter. It's the man lined up outside.
That's tough. A team struggling for points on a 4th down play could have had a 42-yard completion. Instead, now they're backed up to their own 2-yard line. They are 1 for 2 on 4th downs this afternoon. Southwick in trouble, and he'll go down. Ball comes out. Either way, it was going to be Philadelphia football. But this Seoul defense is jacked up right now.
Somebody just threw Southwick's shoe off the net. These guys are getting crazy down there. Good pressure up front. Look at the bull rush. Everybody's fighting to get there, but you got to have that clock. Teddy Jennings says, give me that football.
Ruling on the field is that the runner was down at the 2-yard line. Go Philadelphia.
Welcome back to Philadelphia, AFL on ESPN. Gorgeous Sunday afternoon. Philadelphia, nice and warm inside as well. They lead 28-6, and they're in the National Conference. You see the Steel looking for their first win, and Philadelphia tied with Jacksonville for 2nd place. But as a result of the Sharks win in Philadelphia this past Monday, they hold the number 2 spot. The real surprise has been the struggles of the Tampa Bay Storm. Offensively, they've not scored 30 points in a game yet this season.
And they've used 3 quarterbacks already in just the same amount of games. I mean, you're trying to find continuity. And I think the simplest thing is to bring it back down to basics and start from there. Started out the season with Adam Kennedy. He didn't get it done, and they're just trying to find their way right now. They've got to continue. This is a proud franchise. one of the cornerstones of this league for many years. Love to see them get it back together.
First and goal at the 2-yard line. Richardson already has one rushing touchdown. He's in the backfield.
Timeout, Philadelphia. They're first. 30 seconds in lead.
Rodaball will go talk to Coach Dalzell. It's pretty odd coming out in that situation that they weren't prepared.
You had a check with me on probably, and maybe all the guys weren't prepared for the check with me. You want to run right or left depending on strength, especially when you have the big bodies in there.
It's the third time Philadelphia started inside the Portland 20-yard line. Let's see if they can take it across the Geico goal line here. And not this time. From Portland.
That's a really good play out in front, but they go with the big heavy lineup, and it didn't matter. That's a good effort. Good defensive surge.
Brandon C said he's got something to say about it afterwards, too.
He did have something to say. Big, strong edge. He forced the issue. You look at all the beef out there for Philly. You've got Justin Lawrence, Jake Metz. They're going with their big personnel, trying to just ram it down the throats of the Steel, who still have their DBs on the field.
This is the jumbo package for Philadelphia. Richardson can't cut it back. Well, it's great defense up front.
You're outnumbered that way. You've got to run to the right side, and I'm not so sure if he had a check with me or not, but Sergio Gilliam is right here. There's nobody to block him. You've got 2 extra guys on this side. Go that way. And he runs right to him. It's a shoestring tackle, but you see Gilliam's an unblocked guy. You're outnumbered that way. You've got to go the other direction.
Gilliam, 7th-year man, played his college ball in the ACC at Clemson. So now 3rd and goal. Philadelphia has had no success right here running the football. This time it's the toss play. And Richardson taken down for a loss, and guess who? It's Gilliam again.
This time Gilliam goes over to the 3 side. He's going to come over right here and shoot the gap. This is this man's responsibility. He's got to cut that off. He's not able to do it. Big guy not used to blocking in space. He passes them up to go to a next level. When you're that close, you don't pass up a guy that's shooting the gap. You got to run through him. Justin Lawrence not used to being in that situation.
Gilliam already 4 tackles here in the first half. I mean, he is a big defensive back. It's 6'2", 190. 4th down, 4th and goal. Touchdown Soul. Rodaball to McDaniel for the 3rd time here in the first half.
Watch the little whip route. He slams on the brake, but look at the timing. How many times do you think they'd run that route? Between SK, McDaniel.
Sounds good. After the score, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, helmet removal. That foul will be assessed on the first play after the kickoff.
They got Keith Newell who got tangled up. That's why he snatched his helmet off. But this route takes such time, and if you back up 2 steps, you're giving up too much room the way these guys throw that pass.
What a first half for McDaniel. Came into the game with 1 receiving touchdown. He's got 3 already in the first half. As Tommy Freebert converts the extra point. A little bit of extracurriculars following the play as Dan Rodaball looks on.
Good protection up front, but look at the spot placement. Serge is giving up too much space. He's got to get up tight. But look at the throw. He knows what he's got already. The ball snapped early. He sees it. And there's a little tussle after the play.
They put themselves in position where they've had to make plays on 4th down, and twice Dan Rodaball on 4th down has thrown touchdown passes.
He's pretty good when he's rolling, right?
Absolutely.
Like the way he's bounced back this week.
Yeah, his numbers are good. Said 8 for 12, 111 yards, 4 touchdowns, and most importantly, no turnovers.
And they're doing all this with a backup tight end. Not that Keith Newell's not a great player, but Adam Smith is one of the best big man tight end in this league. from a protection standpoint. They're just doing an outstanding job of protection.
Well, Portland's got to be careful. This one's going to get out of hand. See if maybe in the return game, Mitchell can give him a little boost. He's had a couple of good returns, and it's an onside kick from Philly. And Philadelphia gets it, and they recover it. Great call, because Portland was certainly not expecting it, trailing 35-6.
No, they weren't. However, points are going to matter. You've got to go out and get them and find them, and it's no excuse for not being ready. No excuse.
First down.
And right there, they just got caught not being prepared for an onside, and even that little shoulder turn there, even that little shoulder turn away is enough to get you some space to recover that ball.
Oh, we were talking about how well Dan's playing. How about this, Sid? On his last 6 attempts, he's 6 for 6 for 90 yards and 4 touchdowns.
That's efficient.
Those are Sid Bonner-like numbers.
That's way better than me. That's efficient. Efficient. But they do like to go for the jugular, so could be a shot play here.
The receiver slipped there. Binford.
You got to get off your heels. See, he sits down on his heels. He's right on the Geico Blue Zone sign. You've got to keep your shoulders over your knees and toes so that doesn't happen to you. You usually don't worry about that stuff on the turf, but where there's some painted areas or some landmarks, you got to be careful.
Binford makes the catch, and it appears he's just shy of the first down. And Sid, you've played in every arena that has ever hosted an Arena Football League game. Would you guys talk in pregame about where some of the ad decals will be on the field, about where you'd be running around to be aware of how the turf might feel differently?
It was a little bit different because sometimes it was painted on, and other places you had turf that was layered over. So, but it was never a conversation. It was just you knew they were out there. You just go and play.
3rd and short. The give is to Richardson, and he picks up 5 yards and a first down for Philadelphia.
That's a good tackle from Dexter Davis. It's almost like a sprint draw look. It happened so quick.
Philadelphia is going to be content to take a lot of time off the play clock here.
Yeah, there's no reason to hurry. If you're going to give them a freebie, they'll take it. If you're going to make them earn it, they'll take it that way as well. Just taking their time down the field.
Rodman going up over the top. Wide open receiver. SK's got it. Touchdown, Soul.
Like I said, if you're going to give them a freebie, they'll take it. This is a double over route. You've got McDaniel on the cross. SK going to the post. And you have 2 defenders back there, so it should be an easy match. You're going deep here, and you're going across here. So you got a high-low on this guy right here, and he makes the wrong choice. Perfect read, and I tell you what, when you get speed through the zone, it helps open things up really fast.
Freebert just squeezes it between the uprights. Sean Kalinamoku, 6th-year receiver out of Western Oregon. Here you see the speed.
That's just quick, and it gives, what it does as a quarterback, it gives you the vision, the sight. You see there, Dan takes a quick hitch and lets it go. You don't have to hold on to it, but when your guys are running full tilt, that's the kind of things that can happen for you.
In this situation with 68 seconds to go in the half, in a typical arena game, we'd be debating an onside kick. Now, Philadelphia just converted one that surprised everybody in the building. Up 42-6. What do you expect the Soul to do here?
I expect them to kick it. However, I wouldn't be surprised because at the end of the year, it's going to come down to points differential for seeding and some of those other things. So you're going to see some teams do some things that they normally wouldn't do when it comes down to scoring. Well, let's put another score up. Let's put another score up because it's going to come down to those things later on in the season.
Took a while for Mitchell to get it. And he's going to dance around and ultimately go down. So here in the final minute of play, the timing rules are just like outdoor football. We'll explain them in greater detail. When we come back, we have hit the 1 minute warning. Soul dominating the first half, leading 42-6.
Each team has 2 timeouts left.
Thank you very much, Doug. Philadelphia 42-6. And Portland with only 46 net yards in the first half.
That real short, quick game has kind of come back to haunt them. They haven't been able to protect. They've gotten out of rhythm offensively, and now they just got to find a way to get it back in rhythm.
Southwick gets rid of it. It's dangerous. Now, in the final minute of the half, the rules are very similar to outdoor football. Incomplete passes stop the clock. If a receiver has the football and gets near the sideboards, if he reaches it out, that's giving himself up. That also stops the clock.
Have you seen any separation from the receivers down there? There was 0 there. Your crosser, who was your main target, Gilson, gets hung up. You guys got to fight just as hard as you're fighting.
Pass complete there. Tyrone Gord, who was just signed this week. James Romaine had been unable to play due to injury, and there he is. He has been the middle safety. He's the guy they decided was the guy in their secondary, so much so that they gave up Rayshon Kaiser a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, and I tell you what, all he did was respond with 69 tackles, 10 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 29 PBUs. The guy can play.
And into double coverage, and Gord never had a chance at the football.
Tyrone still trying to get his legs in shape, just coming in.
He did play for Coach James, so he knew that he'd understand what Coach James wanted to do, but they're real thin at the receiver position.
They are. They need a guy that can separate. There's not one guy out there for the steal that anybody back here is afraid of. Those guys, there's not one person out there that they're afraid of.
The steal 1 for 3 on 4th down. Southwick's going to step up and try to take off and run for it, and Danny Southwick. And then he fumbled at the end of the play, but Gilson was right there. They get the first down, and they're going to use the timeout here and stop the clock with 28 seconds to go in the half.
Portland, they're second, 30 seconds.
You see him break through. It's a good job of walling off and great job of just making a decision and going. But you got to put the ball right there. Put the ball away. Don't give it back. Gilson, Johnny on the spot. It's a guy they need to get going, Javin Zambrano. Double move.
Southwick, nice touch pass over the jack linebacker and into the hands of Tom Gilson.
When you've seen Danny in the pocket with some space, just like most guys, most of us don't like to get touched. You know what I mean? We try to act like we're tough dudes. We don't want to get hit. But look at this good pocket. He's able to step into a throw right over the top of the jack, but he puts it on target. Extremely accurate if you protect for him. Those guys got to fight a little harder, and he's got to be a little more decisive in his decision making.
Plenty of time here for the steal. 1 timeout, just under 22 seconds to work with. Southwick completes it. Zambrano the catch. Zambrano last week really impressed a lot of people. 11 catches, 73 yards, and a couple of touchdowns in his first game of the season.
30 seconds.
So they use their final timeout here, 13.7 seconds. If they use the out of bounds or incomplete passes, they certainly have time for 3 plays.
Well, you certainly cannot go back and stand in the pocket thinking you have all day. You've got to get back and be decisive. If you're Danny Southwick, you cannot afford a sack here. That being said, Philadelphia is coming. They're bringing the heat. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jerry and Moreland's number called on like a tight end delay or a tight end release like they ran earlier.
Well, he has to know to then get out of bounds because they have no timeouts left.
Absolutely.
And that's asking a lot of a lineman who doesn't spend much time with the football.
Don't they tell everybody they're the smartest guys on the field?
Southwick steps up, throws at an open receiver and off the net. And it falls harmlessly incomplete, but you do not want to miss high because that ball comes off the net. It is a live football.
That was a blown opportunity right there.
You can tell he was frustrated.
Yeah, he is.
Pointed to himself.
He is.
I mean, Perry is open here. This should be a touchdown.
Yes. Needs to throw it more in front, a little more touch, but that ricochets off the seats.
Yeah, let me correct myself. That did not hit off the
I was wondering why Joe Gooseby didn't go get that football, like why he wasn't running to get it.
A great look from our cameraman down there so we could understand that it did not hit the iron. 3rd down. Perry makes the catch, gets out of bounds.
Short of the first.
Short of the 4th down. They could still get a 1st down and would have time for another play as long as they get out of bounds.
We'll see a quick out here. Gets it out early, but just reach in front towards the pylon. Might as well go ahead and get the first. Understanding situations.
So 4th down yet again for the Portland Steel. They really need some kind of positive energy before the half. And delay of game.
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Did that seem like a quick whistle? That seemed like it was super quick.
Clock operator, 4.9.
Now, if it wasn't 4th down, it wouldn't be such a big deal as the ball now ends up in the Geico Blue Zone because it gives you a little more room to work with. Your receivers have more of a chance to get separation, but with a 4th down, not the time or situation to pick up that penalty.
Absolutely not.
Portland is in the bonus. That is a 10-yard penalty.
Field position all the way back at the 19-yard line. They can get a 1st down at about the 7.5-yard line, but now it's going to make it harder to get 2 plays. If you only get the 1st down, they may have to take a shot at the end zone here.
Well, with this kind of distance they're going to have to put on, he's going to have to get out of the pocket. This might end up being a scramble drill, and hopefully he can hit somebody in the end zone.
Southwick, the throw. Perry's got it. 1st down, but the clock expires.
It's the end of the 1st half.
That is a tough end of the half for the Portland Steel. Had he gone right to the boards, might have had 0.2 of a second to run one more play.
Not in this building.
Yeah, probably not in this building. The Steel held to just 6 points, and the Philadelphia offense extremely efficient in the 1st half as they put up 42 points. And now let's talk to Philadelphia Soul head coach Clint Dolezel. Clint, you talked this week about getting off to a fast start. The first drive a little bit sluggish, but you convert the 4th down, and then things seem to roll for you guys the rest of the 1st half.
Yeah, we were a little out of sync on the first one. The receivers ran a couple of wrong routes, but got right back on track really fast for us. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about our defensive pass rush right now. Secondary's playing well, too, with Romaine out there. So hopefully this is for us for the rest of the season.
Clint, what did you see that made you call that onside kick coming out? Was there something, an indicator, guys turning too fast?
Well, for us, it was there. Yeah, they're a little bit deeper on the 2nd line, so it's been there every time. To be honest with you, we just pick and choose when we do it, and we've got, in my opinion, the best kicker in the league as far as a pop-up right there. So surprise is really good for us.
Well, Clint, great 1st half for your team. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thanks, bud.
Our score at the half, Soul 42, Steel 6. Coming up after the break, we will head to Bristol. Doug Kazarian in the studio with the halftime report. Soul in control at home. One of the iconic landmarks in all of Philadelphia, the Liberty Bell. And it's a happy day in Philadelphia. The Phillies have won. The Soul are leading 42-6. Our Wolf alongside the Hall of Famer Sid Bonner. And Sid, coming in, Dan Rodabon, this offense wanted to get it going early. And while they struggled a little bit on the first series, once they got in the end zone on that fourth down play, they've been solid.
And they've been helped out by some tremendous defense. Defense played extremely well, but Dan has been extremely efficient. 5 TD passes. He's been on point since that first drive, and the numbers show that. They bear that out. 158 total yards to just 99 from Portland. They are dominating this game, putting hats and helmets all over the body of Danny Southwick. For Portland, you need to come out and just try to find a way to sustain some drives. Do some positive things and just kind of hang around, and maybe, just maybe, you get some funny bounces later on in the game for yourself.
Yeah, ball comes off the iron funny. Who knows what could happen? Gilson does the smart play there. He's there to protect the kick return guy. So he keeps his eyes back there and saw.
Touchback by rule. The ball will be placed at the 3-yard line, first down.
Saw what was happening. Gilson goes back to secure the football. This is a really smart play.
This is a really good play by Gilson, but not a smart play to try to play the ball off the net that way if you're Terrence Mitchell.
Danny Southwick, first half numbers, 12 for 21, 96 yards and a touchdown. Their second drive of the game, he went 5 for 5, and they had a very nice drive. It's been a struggle other than that one drive. Southwick, perfect throw right into the hands of Jared Perry.
That's a great throw. And you talk about one of those stretch players. Jared Perry does have enough speed to push up the field. And timing is there, ball's out on time. Not a lot your field corner could do about that. Tracy Belton playing in good spot. Is supposed to keep you from wanting to throw that ball. He's in between it, but if you've got confidence in where you're putting it, you throw it on time. It can't be stopped.
Catch is made. So 2 for 2, and the previous play of 19 yards, the longest play of the game so far for the Portland Steel.
And that's just what this offense is. And listen, Sembrano, Perry, those guys can take you deep. They're still trying to figure out their protections and make sure they're able to give Southwick time to push the ball down the field.
Southwick completes it. Heavy emphasis on Jared Perry here at the start of the third quarter, and he really, in terms of what he's accomplished in the AFL and his level of talent, he should be the go-to guy. Even though Gilson's numbers are better, Jared Perry is the one guy who might scare the defense a little bit.
He is the one guy that's good, and maybe Sembrano because of their speed, I think. And what he's done, Perry's actually done it on the field. He's made plays. He led this team a year ago in receptions, did all those things, had a great year.
Southwick is sacked. Again, the offensive line just can't get enough protection as Teddy Jennings gets his second sack of the season.
Right here on the edge, you got to do a better job of protecting your guy. Takes a 5-step drop. It kind of rolls a little to his right. That's tough for that offensive lineman there. If you're going to move or slide around in the pocket and not be straight back in the slot, that makes it a little bit tough.
Jennings played his college ball at UConn. In 2014, he was first team All-Arena. Here the completion is made. Sembrano makes the catch, and he's close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. One thing I want to bring up here, though, yes, Portland would love to have an incredible comeback and win, but given it's a 16-game season, there was no preseason. A lot of these guys, including the staff, are new. It's all about how well are they playing at the end of the season, and can they get hot late and maybe make a run to the postseason.
That's exactly what it's about. It's about keeping guys healthy so they can create some cohesion. They're down 5-6 players already in just this short season.
Southwick, Gilson,
and James Romaine is going to claim he was pushed off, and sometimes it happens, and they allow the offensive players to get away with it. But he's waiting around, and that's a good job of just hanging out and continuing with the play.
And real good protection. I mean, that made it so Southwick could move around, take extra time, and find an open Tom Gilson. Extra point is up, and it is good. So a good start to the third quarter for Danny Southwick and the Portland Steel. Jared Perry was the featured guy, but when they got into the scoring area of the field, it's Tom Gilson with the score, and Southwick, second touchdown pass of the game. (42-13), Philadelphia in front of Portland. Tuesday, the countdown to the NFL Draft continues on ESPN. At 7:30 Eastern, it's the next episode of Hey Rookie, Welcome to the NFL. Then at 8, it's another NFL matchup draft special. And the night wraps up at 8:30 and 9 p.m. with Gruden's QB Camp, featuring Penn State's Christian Hackenberg and the Buckeyes' Cardell Jones. All shows also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. When do you expect the onside kicks to start for Portland? Do you do it this early?
Yes, if you want to get back in the game, that's something you need to take a look at as well in your game plan.
They decide to kick it deep. They're going to have to get extra possessions at some point. Chris Duval on the return, forced out of bounds at the 6-yard line. First time in the second half, we will get to see Dan Rodabaugh. Rodabaugh had a very good first half. 5 touchdown passes on 10 completions. After starting 2 for 6, he really heated up. 7th year in the Arena Football League.
Listen, when you're working with a precision offense such as this, and you throw one new wrinkle in the mix, one new guy in the mix, it makes a difference. We don't know the depth. Even if it's 2 yards, it could change everything for this offense.
Rodabaugh, touch pass, caught. Throwing over that Jack linebacker, not that easy. Now let's go back in time. Dan Rodabaugh, a great college career at Miami of Ohio. Started a couple of seasons there. 5th all-time in passing yards in Red Hawks history. And he's found the right head coach, because Clint Dozzell has invested so much time and energy in making Dan Rodabaugh into an elite AFL quarterback, and last year it really paid off with Rodabaugh being named the AFL MVP.
Not only that, but a world-class person as well.
Richardson, all the way inside the 10, Jeremy Richardson. What an incredible story. A guy who's limited role at fullback in this league, comes to Philadelphia and leads the AFL in rushing.
I'll tell you what, he's been a defensive end, a MAC linebacker, but look at the good footwork, the skill set, great feet. And I tell you, they do an outstanding job of prepping their fullbacks. You don't see a lot of teams spend much time with that 4th threat. You got your 3 receivers. You put another threat. That 4th threat is so valuable. The teams that play well in this league are teams that have that threat, the threat of the run from the fullback position.
And a big-time threat. That was a 22-yard run for Richardson. On to the end zone. Pass just a little bit too much on it. SK could not get to it.
Just a quick punch out. Just out of the reach.
I mean, put it in a perfect spot.
Well, it's his guy or no guy.
Yeah.
That's the rule. Tell you, when you have super quick guys, I used to cheat and snap it about a half a second early, so I could be that much quicker on the throw. And it just takes that time to figure it out, but he's played with him for a couple years. He knows his gait pretty well.
Rodabaugh, the throw, and the defender had his back to the football, and it hit him square in the back of the jersey. Mike McMillan, number 4.
And he wants Ryan McDaniel to push this inside a little more. He sets up early, doesn't even get in the end zone. Jack's right there. If he could push that defender inside, they ran this play earlier. I believe he was just trying to give Benford a chance, or excuse me, Duval, a chance to make a play on the football.
Philadelphia 5 for 5 in the red zone. movement, free play, and they can't complete it. There was movement coming off the right defensive end there from Portland.
Offside, 11, defense. Half the distance, replay, third down.
And Sid, what's interesting is that's the first time we've said Dexter Davis's name except when we mention him in the impact players.
And look who he's going against. First-time starter. And Keith Newell has... Watch the inflection. Take a listen.
A veteran play, the quarterback up here. QB1 I'm sitting next to. Got a good chuckle. You like that?
That was awesome.
Wide receiver screen and diving for the end zone is Chris Duval. Touchdown sold.
This play is all made by an accurate throw by Dan Rodabaugh and a great block right here to seal the edge. We're coming through with motion. We're just going to raise up and give it to this man right here quickly. Look at the job by Ryan McDaniel out in front, leaves the edge. And he almost does that Cardinal sin by pulling on that wrist on the backside when you didn't need to, but great effort by Ryan McDaniel.
Extra point is up and good, so no Darius Reynolds today. Chris Duval's got real talent and experience in the AFL, and Dan Rodabaugh celebrating. (49-13) our score, 6:33 to go in the third quarter. Ari Wolf alongside Sid Bonner upstairs, our terrific ESPN crew here with us in Philadelphia. Been a common stop. Philadelphia's been one of the elite teams in the AFL for a long time. Mitchell on the return, and he is spun to the ground. Now the ball came out. Zambrano recovers. I thought the ground caused the fumble.
It did. It did. That's the first time he actually took the ball and hit it. And you want to have success.
During the return, blocking the back, 12. Half the distance, first down.
There's Gord in the game. He's a big target, but he just signed this week, so you wonder what level of conditioning he has.
I was just going to give you the...
He's panting. And Zambrano, that's going to be considered a running play because he threw it backwards.
It's just a quick screen or a bubble screen. And Tom Gilson, listen, you want to be a success in this league, you can't just catch passes. You got to go block for your friends and do those kind of things. Right there, James Romaine wanted to make the tackle more than Tom Gilson wanted to block him.
Good point. Southwick keeps it short. Gord makes one guy miss, and then two sole defenders push him into the near boards.
Going back to that sail route again. They're extremely comfortable reading that out. You can get it out of your hand quick, but now it brings up a third and long, which is not where they want to be. They love to run the dig routes here from the motion men, double dig or gin, some sort of over route, but you've got to get a guy on the backside that can clear the zone on this backside.
Southwick with time delivers a good ball. Tom Gilson the catch at the 18-yard line. Gilson played his college ball at UMass.
They tried to get Zambrano right there on a double move on James Romaine, and I tell you what, for a guy that hasn't played, his hips were ready. He got out of there. Great throw and catch on the backside. That's just a short comeback route. Being in the right spot, right time, safety blanket.
First third down conversion of the game for Portland. Here they go to the screen, and the catch cannot be made by Kevin Myers. That play has always made me, every time they go to run that play, like I get this uncomfortable feeling like, uh-oh.
Well, just because it's little Kevin Myers at 6'6", 370?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a big man.
I'm uh-ohing for so many reasons. If he catches it, I hope the defender doesn't get hurt.
Just hit him
Or
on the shoelace.
he's going to catch it and hurt himself. Or third, he's going to catch it and fumble.
You've got to run it, though. You got to run it. You've got to. You got to slow these guys down.
Southwick. Gord, and 2 players end up in the front row, and it's incomplete. Now, while they can keep the football, the players do have to come back to the field, and Southwick shaken up. Interesting, the official just now is saying it's incomplete. And hopefully both those guys okay. And nice round of applause.
Incomplete pass. Third down.
This is a really good recovery by Romaine.
That's great coverage.
They ran a trap on him. Romaine stayed in the middle of the field. The field corner jumped the route down low, and Romaine was able to get back to that fade route before the ball was thrown. A little too much air put on it, but man, great hustle, good effort by both guys.
Better keep your eyes on the field in the front row. 3rd and 10. Southwick, and that ball is underthrown. Well, let's take a look in real time. You say to yourself, I better be paying attention. This guy ended up with a foot right in his hands. It's like a football,
That's
but
right.
it was a foot.
That's right in the ownership box. One of the owners group.
Cheeky and Pete's, a famous restaurant. Pete was right there if he needed to make a play.
His son was even,
Yeah.
he was extremely calm right there. I would have been freaking out.
Yeah, I'd have been jumped to the next row and run away. He's saying, Dad, put me on the team. I can take it. 4th down. Southwick, there it is. Tyrone Gord, touchdown steal.
Sometimes when you're an extremely good cover guy, you rely on a head whip a little too much instead of staying high in your coverage or in your back pedal. James Romaine gets deep in his back pedal, but he waits, allows Gord to get up on his toes, and then he tries to head whip and can't get there.
32-yard completion for the touchdown. Danny Southwick now has 3 touchdown passes this afternoon. Lakayo on for the extra point attempt. And he misses this one to the right. Philadelphia leads 49-19. Portland's got a couple of touchdowns in the second half, and here's Southwick. Great throw, Gord with the score. After tonight's Giants-Dodgers game, stick with ESPN for Sports Center at night. Bucci, Anderson, and Levy will have highlights from the NBA and NHL playoffs. Major League Baseball, soccer, NASCAR, as Kyle Busch goes for his 3rd win in a row, and the PGA Tour's RBC Classic. All that'll be streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Well, Southwick's numbers in the second half, much better. 8 of 11, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
And he's standing in there like a champ, man. He's getting beat down. I mean, you want to play quarterback in this league, and he's holding on to the ball a little bit, just taking some chances, the right chances, though.
All right, I'll ask you again. Every time they have a kickoff, do you expect onside here?
I do.
Okay. And again, they kick it deep.
Well, listen, it's a war of attrition. They've got a ton of games. They've already lost a ton of players. Maybe that's the angle. They're not trying to get anybody else hurt.
Chris Duval, good return. Even when Darius Reynolds comes back, I tell you, Sid, it seems that Chris Duval, you want him on the field. He's a playmaker.
He's a big-time playmaker. And I think upside, because of his size and ability to move, this guy can get a lot of things done in a special way. Still learning the game a bit, but you see here one good cut and he's up the field. Good move in open. Listen, Tyrone Gord is not a tackling machine. However, you made a guy miss and put your team in really good field position.
Rodema, the completion, and the ball comes out. It almost looked like he tried. I want to see this closer, man. It looked really weird the way it spurted out of his hand.
There's a fumble, and listen, initially, if Mike McMillan attacks this play from the get-go, he might have an interception. That was my first thought, but right here, he's
from behind, he punched it out.
Punched it out, ball comes out.
SK did not protect the football.
Did not. Right here.
No, that's smart. He just punched it right out.
Really good job.
A little momentum here for the Portland Steel. Southwick going for another touchdown. Perry's open. He's got it. Touchdown Steel.
It's a double move route by Jared Perry. And listen, this starts up front. You've got to have protection to throw this thing. But he is going to go here, here, and then back to the post again. But watch right here. It's corner, post, excuse me. And it's wide open. And what a big play for the Steel.
Even though that's the end of the quarter, the try will still be conducted down here.
So we discussed at the start of this half how important it is for Portland to just continue to gel and get better. Danny Southwick just in the third quarter, 9 of 12, 121 yards and 3 touchdowns.
It's been a great half so far. Listen, it's still so early in the season, and for Coach James, who's calling plays for the first time in a few years, you're still learning your players. All these reps are valuable. These reps are extremely valuable in order for your team to get better.
So back-to-back passes from Danny Southwick have made this game a little more interesting as we get set to go to the fourth quarter. Seoul still looking good, leading 49-26. We'll be right back to the Wells Fargo Center. There is the score by quarters. And you see Portland, third quarter, they outscore Philadelphia 20-7. Still have a mountain to climb to get back into this one. Tuesday, the countdown to the NFL Draft continues on ESPN at 7:30 Eastern. It's the next episode of Hey Rookie, Welcome to the NFL. Then at 8, it's another NFL matchup draft special. And the night wraps up at 8:30 and 9 p.m. with Groot QB Camp, featuring Penn State's Christian Hackenberg and the Buckeyes' Cardell Jones. All shows also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app.
You think I'm too old to get an invite to Gruden Camp?
You might be able to come and like sit in the room.
I'll show them boys how to throw the football is what I'll do.
DeVault on the return. Will be wrapped up at the 13-yard line.
You don't want to allow for extra hits on your body. Chris will learn that.
I expect Philadelphia to come out real focused because Clint Dozzell cannot be happy that they've got careless with the football in the third quarter, and now here in the early part of the fourth, I expect them to regain their focus.
They have to regain their focus. This is a team that kind of rides the tide. Things start going bad, things kind of compound with this team. They've got to be strong right here, stand up and put together a good drive.
Rodema completes, DeVault the catch. DeVault continuing to learn this offense, getting a lot of opportunities this afternoon with Darius Reynolds not here because of a previous obligation.
And also because of a few drops by Benford in key situations early on. So we've seen much more of Chris Duval.
Rodema, DeVault wide open, gets to it, touchdown Seoul.
And there is no help. No help from Tim Shelley on the corner route. And you want to talk about running up on somebody's toes. Watch what he does to Mike McMillan. Runs right up on his toes and leads him in and takes it. And you see there, McMillan thought he had field corner help. from Tim Shelley, but it didn't help. It didn't happen.
Extra point is up and good. So, we were talking about Chris Duval making the most of his opportunities. So now in the game, he's pulling a Chris Carter on us. He's got 4 catches, 3 of them for touchdowns, and a total of 50 yards. He's going to get the attention of your close friend Clint Dawzell. This guy may find himself in the lineup on a regular basis.
He's doing everything he's been asked to do. And you know what, Clint, you got to earn that trust from him. He's doing everything they're asking him to do. He's playing hard on special teams. He's picking up that offense.
I did enjoy the moment yesterday. We're on the golf course. It's the 3 of us plus a guy that we never met before. He's just saying, and early on he says, so who is the better quarterback? And I thought, I'm in a pretty good position to judge this, and let's just say they were both great quarterbacks. I mean, you and Clint were really, you did it differently. You're a lefty, he's a righty. You both won championships, both big guys, big personalities, and it's nice to see what great friends you guys have become.
Yeah, I've always loved his game. So I always say, when people ask me, I always say Clint. So I've loved his game. I thought he was smart.
Right. I think he always says you, which is nice.
I mean, the guy's just a solid dude, man.
He really is.
I could spend a lot of afternoons with that guy.
Especially on a wind-free day at Ron Jaworski's Riverwind Golf Club, where there was not any wind. What a beautiful day, and a lot of fun to spend quality time with Coach Dawzell.
It was a good afternoon, and leaving a snowstorm in Colorado on my way here, not thinking I was even going to get out, to standing on a golf course at 68 degrees in Philadelphia.
And
it was awesome.
As usual, Ron Jaworski takes wonderful care of everybody. We were treated great. Had a real fun afternoon. I learned that Clint Dawzell, he was a great quarterback, he's a heck of a golfer as well.
Really good golfer.
Yeah.
And he shot a 81 and was upset.
Well, come on, he's a perfectionist. The guy probably could have shot 70 and thought, I left 2 out there.
So you're saying I'm not?
I don't know. I think you kind of play it cooler than he does. His intensity, you can read it all the time.
My volcano's on the inside.
Yeah. You hide it well. Mitchell on the return. Mitchell across midfield. Sure, that's not a horse collar, Tyler. I mean, where's the flag?
I mean, he didn't have enough strength
to pull him back.
I don't want to say that about my guy Tommy, because he's a pretty strong dude. He's got a great leg, but he didn't have enough strength to pull him back over the top. But that's still.
Yeah, I mean, this
as soon as you reach inside, that's still a horse collar and a face mask. So it's a horse face mask collar.
And we've got an injured Philadelphia Soul player back at the Portland 14-yard line. Yeah, I mean, he got away with 2 penalties in one, and didn't get called for either one.
It's the luck of the kicker to be able to get away with that play.
While the Soul training staff take a look at the injured player, we'll step away for a moment. Welcome back. Philadelphia leads Portland 56-26, 12:51 to go in the 4th quarter. One of the Philadelphia Soul owners and a fine football player, Marcus Colston, joins us. And Marcus, watching these guys out there on the arena field, does it make you wonder what it would have been like to try to play the indoor game?
Yeah, I mean, I've been around this game for a while, and I still say these walls scared me, so I got a lot of respect for these guys.
Marcus, you're a free agent right now. You've won a Super Bowl. You've been a great player in the league. If you had your pick, if you could hand pick any organization team to go to, where would that be?
If it was only so simple.
That's politically correct answer right there. That's well done. I like that. But I imagine you're excited about the prospects for a new beginning.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to what's next. Just taking time, getting healthy, spending time with my family, enjoying that, and really enjoying this arena season. So, probably after the draft, I'll kind of refocus and see what's out there.
Last thing, being a part of an ownership group and preparing yourself for life after football, what are some of the really good things you've learned being a part of this ownership group in Philadelphia?
Our group is one that's really diverse. We've got a lot of guys and a lot of different industries. So it's really given me an opportunity to learn from some really good business people, really good people. You know, just a lot of different avenues, you know, out there for us to pursue.
Marcus, we appreciate you spending some time with us. Good luck with free agency, and we hope you land in the right spot.
That sounds good. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, their ownership group, he said the right word, is diverse. I mean, you have people from all different lines of work. Dick Vermeil, one of the owners, Ron Jaworski, Marcus Colson. Those are football guys, and then you've got people from all different industries. So when they all get together, there's a lot to learn from each other.
And they do a good job of sharing information and helping one another out. This is one of the best run organizations in the league. Do an outstanding job. Great
Southwick to Gilson, touchdown Portland.
Catch Larico on the backside, peeking a little bit too much. Larico's backside is in good coverage, Stevenson, but he peeks, leaves a little bit too much room. Watch his eyeballs are going to be in here too much. Allows this receiver to get outside and into the end zone just enough. He's waiting to help on the post route, but you see how far in. See, he's all the way out to numbers. Southwick with enough arm strength to punch that thing in there. It's still so funny to me to see a guy miss an extra point, and you always see guys run after the ball, and that's his third miss.
Step away, a much better half for Danny Southwick. We'll document that when we come back. 10:31 to go in the fourth. Philadelphia leads Portland 56-32. Thursday, April 28th at 8 Eastern on ESPN. It's the first round of the NFL Draft live from Chicago's Auditorium Theater. Chris Berman anchors our coverage for the 36th year, along with a cast of thousands. The show will also be available on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. It's around the corner, a week from Thursday. Who do you think goes #1 to the Rams?
I don't know.
Do you think it's a quarterback, though, for sure?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Especially in LA, you've got to make a splash. You got to make a splash. And I'm thinking Big Sky Country.
It's an interesting debate, and it's one that I just feel like it's one of those things, whoever they pick 3 or 4 years later will be able to really judge who made the right decision. And here's the onside kick. The dribbler and Ryan McDaniel not fooled, able to secure it easily. Well, Philadelphia will have great field position. So Dan Rodabaugh last week was 24 of 36, 306 yards. That part sounds pretty good. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Not as good.
No bueno.
Today, 15 for 22, 209 yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Efficiency.
Yep.
And that's what you're seeing around the league with the teams that are playing really well. Nick Davila has been efficient, hasn't thrown for a ton of yards, but is always up around that 68 to 70% completion range with 6, 7 touchdowns. That's how you win games, especially when your defense is playing well.
Rodabaugh, they set up the screen, and just a few yards picked up there. Keith Newell, the tight end, getting a chance to start with Adam Smith out of the lineup.
He's got to make a cut. And I know there's a lot of body moving, a lot of big fella moving, but you got to go inside of your block. Wayne Tribute did an outstanding job getting on Pila, but Pila didn't want to stay blocked. Newell's got to make just a little cut inside, and that's a walk-in.
Pila's been a consistent part of this Portland organization. He is a playmaker, hasn't had many chances today, and there he is on cue as he knocks the ball down. But he's a fun athlete to watch and seems to have very good instincts at that jack linebacker position.
He's well liked around the league, too. Guys respect him. They like this kid. But watch the quick movement. He's going all the way. They're going back to the little squirrel route in the end zone. And you're going to see him here at the snap of the ball. He's able to move, but watch the quickness that he goes with. He reads the route and gets out in front. Dan doesn't see him.
Bryce Pila, boy, he knew exactly what was coming. Rodabaugh, that's an easy touchdown. SK with the score. Dan Rodabaugh's 8th touchdown pass of the game.
That's a mix-up in coverage, but it's still tough. You go bunch. And you don't expect them to hit the guy through quick. You're expecting something underneath, some slant, but it just squirts out right here. And look at the shoulders, bad position. And that's just miscommunication. Coach got to upset Coach Mulder on that defensive side. But a great read, and that's, you talk about processing information fast, that's about as fast as you could do it right there.
Tommy Freebird converts the extra point. It's now 63-32. As Philadelphia bouncing back in a big way on a short week. They played Monday. It was a very uneven performance from the Soul, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, and losing to Jacksonville. Take a look at the scoreboard. How about the LA Kiss going to Cleveland, getting a 5-point win? Arizona remains undefeated. They have not allowed a team to score 30 points in a game yet this year. And still coming up on Monday, Orlando and Jacksonville. That should be a very good game.
That should be an exceptional game. Jacksonville kind of got in their stride a week ago. Threw a lot of mistakes from Philly, but they took that game away from Philly and really ran away with it at the end. So Jacksonville starting to get into some things. Orlando 2-0, playing well.
Well, one of the things we've talked about is some of the struggles in the early season for teams because there aren't preseason games in the AFL. And that's where advantage Arizona Rattlers. Those guys have played so many games together now. While they've added 11 new players, that core group, including the best quarterback in the AFL, Nick Davila, were there and playing as though they were in mid-season form for the opening snap.
And playing like they got something to prove.
Oh, they do. I mean, they didn't like not winning the Arena Bowl last year. And they're going to say Mitchell never got out of the end zone, so it'll be a touchback. Do you want access to every AFL game at once? Go to arenafootball.com and click AFL Live for online broadcasts of games from around the league. That's all at arenafootball.com. Now, we're still early in the season, but Arizona is really 2 plays away from perhaps being the 5-time defending champ. If you go back to 2011, they lose in the Arena Bowl to Jacksonville on the final play of the game. Last year, on a very controversial call, San Jose beats them in the conference championship game, then wins the Arena Bowl. Arizona wants another ring, and I'm curious to see what team can improve enough to challenge the Rattlers at the top.
And to catch up. And listen, right now they look dominant. I mean, flat out dominant.
Rod Windsor came back with a purpose. I mean, he's playing at the kind of level we saw from him early in his career when he had a year where he had 193 catches.
His rookie year.
Yes.
Welcome to the game. Let's dominate it.
It was crazy, his rookie season, how good he was. All right, so we'll take a look at the power rankings, and these are, of course, subject to change for Mr. Bonner, but no surprise, Arizona in 1. Then you've got Orlando, LA, Jacksonville, and then the Philadelphia Soul, 5th.
Well, how can I put them above Jacksonville when Jacksonville came into their backyard and whooped them up last week?
But I know what you're doing here, because LA beat Jacksonville, Jacksonville beat Philly, but after you've seen Philly today, will they remain at number 5 or will they move up?
It depends what happens tomorrow night.
So you're saying they still may be behind the LA Kiss?
Remain, wait and see.
I'm not sure about your friendship with Clinton Ozell. I think it's on the rocks.
Listen, do I think this team, the Philadelphia Soul, will be there towards the end? Yeah, absolutely. But what I saw last week from them, they're where they should be right now.
Okay. You just defend your position. Got to stand your ground. I mean,
listen.
5 out of 8 teams, the Philadelphia Soul. Okay.
It just stacked out that way. Because of the wins, losses, it stacked out that way.
Now, I thought Clinton said something about buying your first adult beverage. I may try to get to him first and squeeze that one my way.
99 defense. That penalty is declined. Result in play.
Tried to set up a screen there and got caught holding was Justin Lawrence. Now listen, he will still buy it because he'll say we played that way last week, so that's what we deserve. Now, in 3 weeks, could it be different? In 2 weeks, could it be different? Absolutely. I mean, good block by Sombrano.
I mean, you guys just always love each other up so much. I'm just trying to create a tiny bit of friction.
1995, man, it's been too long.
Been too long?
Been too long, man.
And his 19 different places he's lived following his football career, including off-season move near Waco to be closer to where his oldest daughter is going to school playing softball. I mean, his wife, Chris, is the one who deserves the Hall of Fame.
She is Hall of Fame. He'll tell you all day, every day.
Southwick delivers, catch is made. Gord had to go up high to catch the football, but I'll tell you, Danny Southwick in the second half has been a different quarterback. He's known what he's wanted to do with the football.
And got it out of his hand. First half, 12 of 21, 96 yards, 1 touchdown. Second half, 13 of 17 for 15 of 20 for 156 and 4 touchdowns. So it's a better plan. It's a more precise plan. And he's absolutely comfortable with it. You like the fact that they stuck with him and allow him to play through these things. Free play for him here. You got to let it go.
Southwick going down the field. He had Gillison, needed to put a little more air onto the football.
We waited to see it. It's a free play. Just throw it with some touch. I don't want the PI call. I want the touchdown. He could catch that like a punt down there.
Two fouls on the play. Illegal formation, 98 out of the stance. That penalty is declined. Illegal contact, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
See the jump right there by Jennings. We gotta hit that. This is a freebie. Hey, listen, it's a double move. If you're going to grab him, James Romaine, really grab him. Don't allow him to even get close to the football. But you'd rather that happen than to give up the free touchdown. That's a miss on Danny, and he'll tell you that all day, every day.
Southwick the throw, and it's incomplete. Now, one of the toughest positions in the AFL is playing center, because you're usually going up against the nastiest, meanest defensive lineman. There's the center, John Collins, who may be the smartest guy in the building. He graduates from Harvard, and they call him Professor Collins. Coach says you never have to tell him anything twice, because he just gets it.
You already told me that.
Yeah. I heard you the first time.
Ooh, that is late. That's a gift, James Romaine. You just laid down a gift. He double clutches it. There you go. Hey, look, that's what happens when you don't pick off, get the interception, and end up on Sports Center for the takeaway. Great break. You see a double punch. You can't hitch and throw a hook route. You got to make him pay for that.
I mean, he should give himself a break. That ball was pretty high.
Listen, you got to go get it. See him hesitate?
Okay.
He hesitated for just a second, expecting that double move, but trust what you see. Believe what you see and go get it. I mean, he could have been dancing down here in the end zone. Probably would have got some pom-poms, everything.
Southwick hit on the throw, and it's picked off.
And here it comes.
Needs one block. Touchdown, Soul.
Tracy Belton says, I'm going to do what you don't want to do.
Tracy Belton.
Oh, the selfie. Okay. That's a lot of guys to get in a selfie.
Second pick of the season for Tracy Belton. He has 39 career picks, the 7-year veteran, played at UMass.
This is just a good job.
The touchdown is good after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 1 of Philadelphia coming off the bench.
And
that foul will be assessed first play after the kickoff.
Chris Duvall was so excited he wanted to get out there. Well, they were missing a holder. Now they've got one out there. Freebird, extra point is good. Philadelphia has now scored 70 points. All right, they're gonna do a selfie. Go ahead, fellas, you've earned it. Tracy Belton, the pick 6. Freebird. And Tom Gilson comes to clean it up. Mitchell was unable to secure the football. Well, Danny Southwick in the second half has played much better, but unfortunately for Portland and their fans, they only scored 6 points in the
runner
first
gave
half.
himself out. By rule, it's placed at the 2, but there's the unsportsmanlike foul that will be assessed 10 yards. It'll be Portland's ball at the 12-yard line, first down.
That's an old selfie penalty from the touchdown.
I don't think it was a selfie. Chris Duval actually came off the bench.
With no helmet?
Well, yeah, but he can't come on to the field.
How do they know he's not on the extra point team?
I guess you could go with that. It'd be like you just
No
decided
helmet.
to run
You just
out
run
there.
out there with no helmet, though. Come on, man.
Southwick. Catch is made by Jared Perry. I don't know what the buzzer sound was for.
Did a hockey game break out or something? It's a good job keeping the play alive by Danny, listen, they're going to continue to grind. This kid is a fighter.
He is a fighter,
Because he has been beaten. He's taken some shots.
His offensive line in the second half has done a much better job. And Southwick misses Gilson. Now, it's early enough in the season. If you're Ron James, you're always looking to upgrade your team. Do you think that they would consider seeing what other quarterbacks are out there and then try to bring in someone to compete with him for the job? Or do you think it's his job all the way?
Rules are now in effect. Each team has 3 timeouts.
I think you have to always encourage competition.
Yep.
Because if you don't, you're just going to stay the same. Things don't stay the same. They get better or worse. And you want to continue getting better.
Welcome back, AFL on ESPN. Seoul leading 70-32. Danny Southwick completes to Jared Perry. And Perry brought down at the Seoul 16-yard line. Final minute of play. The 1-minute timing rules are in effect.
Reach to get the ball out of bounds. You're right. You're close. I know it's late in the game. It's 70-32. However, little things matter. Reach to get the ball out of bounds. Understand the situation.
Flag is down. Southwick. And they're going to blow this one dead before the play ends.
He keeps trying to give James Romaine picks.
Before the snap, false start, 64, offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Now, Sid, during the era in which you played in the AFL, it was understood that you would score on almost every possession. Well, Philadelphia today played like it's old school arena football. 10 touchdowns, 9 offensive TDs on just 33 plays.
They were able to take 2 possessions back from their fumble. That offset itself. 2 for 1. Dan was outstanding. You see, very efficient. 8 TDs, no picks.
Southwick to Gilson, and he gives himself up. That'll stop the clock.
And listen, what did we say had to happen at the beginning? Fast start. Off to a fast start. That's what they needed. They got off to a quick start. Struggled on that opening drive for the first few plays, but they'd scored, and then it seemed like the floodgates opened for the Soul.
Maybe just the kind of confidence game, confidence building game that the Soul needed. They've got Arizona coming up in the near future, and I think everyone's going to be measuring themselves against the Rattlers, and they have them here. And that ball is picked off.
What did I just say? 2 minutes ago, he's trying to give James Romaine an interception. He just did it. When you're scrambling around, that's fine, but throw it away. And as a receiver, you got to come back and help your guy out. You can't stand next to him while he picks the ball off. At least knock it down as a receiver. I'm putting half of that on Southwick, half of that on Tom Gilson.
You know, Philadelphia wins the turnover battle. 3 turnovers for Portland, just 1 for Philadelphia. That gets Philadelphia into the plus on the season. They're on +1 in turnover margin. And with the lead, Richardson has to get forward progress, and he does. Quickly, what'd you learn today?
I learned that Philly's resilient. They bounced back. New receivers in there did a nice job.
Great to be back with you, Cedric Bonner. This was a lot of fun. And the Philadelphia Soul come away with a resounding victory in front of their home fans. Philadelphia defeats Portland 70-32. Coming up next, the 2016 NCAA Women's Bowling Championship. On behalf of Ced Bonner and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Ari Wolf. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.